it's Isabel, and it is once again time to let my Uno cards pick the books that I will read for next month. As always, if you haven't seen any of these videos yet or are just confused about the concept, I will leave a playlist of all of the videos that I've done in this series so far up in the cards. I'm still confused as to where the cards are, but it will be in the cards and also in the description, so you can find the very first video I ever made where I actually explain the thing, and also all of the following months where I have done this. Today it is time to pick the books for November, but before I can do this, I will of course quickly talk about the books that I was supposed to read in October and see if I've actually read them. To recap, the books that my Uno cards picked for me in October were, I have to read them from the screen over here, sorry, Othello, Cold Skin, Night Film, and Ghost Species. And let's start with the successes, shall we? I did read Othello. I actually did it in a reading vlog that I did. It was a 24 hours reading as much as I can type of vlog. I'll also link it somewhere. Can you tell that I'm a little confused today? Anyway, so yes, I did read Othello and also watched an adaptation of it, which was very fun. And I think I will give it 4 stars because I did really enjoy it, but it's not quite my favorite. Then I also read Cold Skin by Albert Sanchez Piñol, and this one I already knew I would love. I gave it 5 stars the first time I read it, I think last year, and I gave it 5 stars again this time. It was the perfect autumnal read, really creepy, and I don't know. This story just gets me every time. Then I started Ghost Species, and I got about 70 pages in and then put it down and just was never motivated to pick it up again for some reason. So I don't want to say that I will DNF it forever, but I certainly won't finish it right now because I just don't really feel in the mood for it, and I think it would be a shame if I pushed through and then wouldn't enjoy it just because I wasn't in the mood. So I will probably pick that one up at a later time again. And then the final book I also started, it is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I think about halfway through. It is a really thick book. It's like 600 pages and I had to pick it for the big book prompt. But yes, this one I'm actually really enjoying. It's not as fast paced as I would have expected, but I do really enjoy the mixed media aspect of it, and I will continue reading it in November. So I didn't quite manage to finish or decide not to finish all of the books that I was supposed to read this month, but I was also very stressed out this month, so I have decided to not punish myself for it. My game, my rules, I think it's fair because it's been a hard month. But yes, actually I will just say that Night Film is the first book that I put on my TBR for November to finish it, which is still like 300 pages to go, so nearly a normal book size. And I have decided to then only pick 4 books with the cards as I did last month, because as you can see, I'm not that good at finishing a lot of books at the moment and I don't want to stress myself out even more, so I will go with just 4 books and hope that I can at least achieve that. So let's shuffle the cards and hope that they will be reasonably nice to me. Okay, picking 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we go. This is my little stack of cards. And the first card, I have to do this the other way around. Let's try this again. The first card is a yellow 2. So I still have very normal cards at the moment. A yellow 2 is, thankfully, a short book. Yes, that is exactly what I needed. So a short book I have defined as anything under 200 pages. So let's see, I'm sure I have a few of those. I also just realized that I should have probably brought the library books that I have out with me to pick from, or I could just pull up a list of those and see if there's a short book in there. Okay, so I have Talk to Me. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I'll just give you the cover here. So I have this book out from the library, which is an anthology of Arctic horror stories. And I didn't get to it last month, but I would really like to read them because I'm still in the mood for creepy books, probably will be for the rest of autumn/winter. And that is only, I think, around 180 pages, so that would count. But I also have some other books on my physical shelf that I think might belong to the short book category. So The Adventures of China Iron, I also have no idea how to pronounce that name, would also be a short book, as would be Picnic at Hanging Rock. But I'm not sure if I'm in the mood for any of those because they give me more of like summer vibes. And another one that is also a short book is Peter Pan, and I know that I have to read it for uni this month anyway, so I should probably pick this one. But I also really want to read the Arctic horror stories, so no, I will go with the Arctic horror stories. Okay, so let me put these back where they belong. And then see what else the cards have for me. The next card is a blue one. So again, checking. A blue one is non-fiction. I have a few non-fiction books that I really want to read. Let me see. So I have Disfigured, which is a book all about how fairy tales use disfigurement and often connected to villainy, and it kind of explores that and how hurtful that really is and tries to change the stigma around that. Also from the library, I have Death by Shakespeare, which is a book that just goes through all of the different ways that Shakespeare characters have died and looks at how realistic they are, which just sounds like fun to me. And I'm also currently on the waiting list for a non-fiction book that I've really been wanting to read for a while now, which is Entangled Life, which is about mushrooms and fungi, and I think about how they have featured in our lives in folklore and also science, and yeah, just everything about that. So hard to choose because I really want to get to all of these. I think I will pick Entangled Life because I've been meaning to read this ever since it was published, I think 2 or 3 months ago. So yeah, I just really want to read that at the moment. Whew. Then next up, the next card is a green one. A green one is a POC author, and I think I have a few of those. I will go with Flowers of Mold, which is a short story collection by a South Korean author. It kind of fits with the creepy mushroom vibes, at least judging from the cover. I also currently have that out from the library, and I do kind of have a plan for a secret TBR type of video that would fit into, so giving you a little hint there of vlogs that I might do this month. And then what is potentially already my last card, we have a +2. So guess it is not my last card, and I will draw 2 more cards. It had to happen at some point, didn't it? Okay, so now we have 2 more cards, and the next one is a red 0. Ooh, and I think zeros, I put things that I really want. So let's see what a red 0 is. It is actually a friend pick or a book recommended by a friend. This is very exciting. I've actually waited for this prompt to come up because I really love the idea of having my friends pick what I read every now and then. And I already know who I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask my friend Lux. So I will text her later, and then I will insert a clip of me later telling you the book that she picked. This is me from the future, here to tell you that Lux has decided that I should read 84 Charing Cross Road. I have heard good things about this book. I've especially heard that it's really heartwarming, and I could really use a heartwarming story in my life right now. I also think it's quite short, so hopefully I will get to it and get through it soon. So thank you, Lux, for picking a book for me. I am looking forward to reading 84 Charing Cross Road. And now back to the rest of the TBR. Whew. And then trying again for the last card, maybe it is a Red 2. A Red 2 is my newest purchase. So I actually have two of those that I bought at the same time. And they are The Keep by Jennifer Egan and Trigger Warnings by Neil Gaiman. I actually don't know a lot about either of these, I just know that I really like Neil Gaiman and the blurb for The Keep sounded really interesting. So I can't quite tell you which one I'm more excited for, but I think seeing as I already have two short story collections on my TBR, I will go for the one that isn't a short story collection, so The Keep by Jennifer Egan. I've just heard a lot of good things about this author. I think she was nominated for some sort of prize for her latest novel. This one is one of her earlier ones though, I think. But yeah, one of the quotes inside the book described it as an original postmodern take on the Gothic thriller. And I absolutely love modern Gothic stories, and I think it has some sort of crumbling castle in it, so I really wanted to give this one a try. And that's it for my TBR this month. It will be 5 books instead of the 4 that I had planned, but that is absolutely fine with me. So on my TBR this month, a lot of library books. We have Taktoumi, Flowers of Mold, Entangled Life, The Keep, and whatever book Lux picked for me. Oh, and of course also Night Film that I would like to finish this month. Luckily, most of these books are rather short-ish, so hopefully I can finish a lot more of them this month than I did last month. Thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Goodbye!